Veteran Salute is sponsored by the DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers.
A strong sense of patriotism and a strong interest in flying led a North High graduate to enlist in the Air Force. In tonight's Veteran Salute, KSN's Katie Tobby tells us he would go on to become one of the few B-17 pilots who completed his missions in World War II.
Well, Lewis Smith enlisted when he was 18 and went straight to flight training. Then it was on to New Mexico, where he learned to fly the B-17. And then he and his crew were all off to Nebraska to pick up a new B-17 and fly over to England to join the war.
Flying over the North Atlantic was quite an experience back then. It actually took 25 hours to get over to Scotland.
Then it was a train to his home base, Great Ashfield Airfield. Lou says early in the war, only about 1 in 4 crews for the 385th Bomb Group was able to finish its missions. The average lifespan of a B-17 was 4 months and 12 days, and the average life of a crew was 12 missions. Lewis would fly 35 missions over Germany.
In the 35 missions, I came back 4 times with 1 engine shot out, twice with 2 engines shot out, crash landed once in France, and 4 times came back with over 50 holes in the airplane. Here's what the gunner, side gunner looked like.
The B-17 wasn't pressurized, and in-flight temperatures ranged from 35 to 55 degrees below zero.
We had to wear long johns, flight suit, Mae West, flak jacket, throat mic, oxygen mask, electric suit, flight jacket, parachute harness, fleece boots, and earphones.
And there was a constant threat from enemy fire.
These unfriended people on the ground were shooting these 88 millimeter and 105 millimeter cannons at us. These shells would come up, burst, put out hundreds of people of hot metal, pieces of hot metal. And you see these holes appear in your airplane and hoping none of them appear in you.
There were many times Lou narrowly missed getting hurt or killed. He was part of the Allied Air Force's attack during the Battle of the Bulge on Christmas Eve of 1944.
We were the second group in the airstream that day. I mean, we were going over here to Frankfurt.
Lou says the Germans attacked the group in front of them, then the third group behind them, and then they came after Lou's group. 2
fortunate things happened. Number one, the jets were running out of fuel. They used fuel so fast back then that they couldn't stay up long, so they were having to return their fuel to refuel. And finally, our protection got here. Our fighters got there, P-730s and 47s and 38s.
Lou also flew the first B-17 to complete 100 missions without an abort in the European theater, and would later learn the plane's crew chief was from the Wichita area. Lou served for 26 months, 20 months of training, and 6 months of combat.
At first, it was exciting and not too scary, but as you went on and saw all your friends disappear, it got scarier. And of course, when you got way down to the end, there's so many guys that got 34 or 33 inches and went down, 33 missions and went down, that it got pretty tense.
After returning home, he finished school and became an optometrist, practicing in Wichita for 48 years. Dr. Lewis Smith never piloted a plane again.
And I figured I had been very lucky, and I ain't gonna push it no more.
Lou has a lot of great stories to share from his time serving our country. You can hear more of our interview by heading over to KSN.com and clicking on this story. Here for you in Wichita, Katie Tobby, KSN News 3.
Tonight we salute Dr. Lewis Smith for his service as a B-17 pilot in World War II.
Dustin DeVaughn with the DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers, and I'm here with Captain Lou Smith, who led an entire squadron of B-17 Flying Fortresses in World War II. On behalf of all of Kansas, thank you so much for your service.
You know, I wouldn't give a nickel to do it again, but I wouldn't take $1 million for the experience.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers.